the number one can't miss story. Conflict between Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and Donald Trump, the most powerful man in the world. What's my take? First, we told you that this would likely happen because Elon Musk, I'm going to psychoanalyze these guys and explain why this is likely to happen, why I think it also is not indicative of a long-term breach, but is, I think, been building for some time. And I think there were a lot of sort of signposts that you could point to. So let's start on the side of Elon Musk, because it seems to me that he is by far the angriest over the situation right now. Elon is used to having complete and total control. He is a dictator at every company that he runs, and he has been a very benevolent and successful dictator at all of those companies. They are wildly successful. I believe that Elon Musk is the most successful capitalist who has ever existed in the history of capitalism. I don't think that's hyperbole. When you consider what he has done with Tesla, when you consider what he has done with SpaceX, what he has done with Twitter/X, now with XAI, what he has done with the Boring Company, what he has done with, I was on the golf course with the LifeLock CEO and founder, Todd Davis, and he was talking about how impressed he is with Neuralink and what Musk has done there, and it is receiving a small amount of attention. I think Elon Musk is the CEO basically of 5 different public companies simultaneously, all of which are fabulously successful. We truly have never seen anything like what he has been able to do. And these companies are doing things that many other people believed were impossible. No one thought that you could replace the internal combustion engine with electric vehicles. No one thought, by and large, hey, it's possible to be better at designing spaceships than NASA, even though NASA has a 70-year head start. What Elon Musk has done is amazing. Here's the problem. It requires a skill set that is massively risk-taking, moves rapidly, and breaks things. It is entrepreneurial in nature. It is by and large not a management job. Founders think and behave differently than people who are in management. That's oftentimes why the number of founders that can transition from creating a company to building it into a huge, vibrant entity is rare, because the skill set to create something new and then the skill set to manage something new is oftentimes very different. And so I have said, and Buck has said on this program, we told you this was coming, that Elon Musk was going to get hyper frustrated over how slow government moves. I am a pinprick as successful as Elon Musk. The reason I didn't want to practice law full time was it moved way too slow for me. I'm a young litigator. You pinpoint the issues at play. You say, hey, this is what needs to be resolved. This is what needs to be fixed. This is the answer to the question. And then, and many of you are lawyers listening right now, it is basically a procedural battle as a litigator for years. And to me, it was boring, plodding. It didn't move fast enough. I was frustrated. I am somewhat impatient. Government is that times 1,000. So you have this uniquely talented builder of businesses the likes of which we have never seen, who is coming into the government, looks around, says, man, this is being run in a shabby, unsuccessful fashion. These are the things that need to be done. I'm going to bring in my brilliant financial engineers. We're going to dive into the federal government books. We're going to recognize all of these different things that are inefficient, outdated, where the taxpayer is not getting best value for his dollars. And even though we recognize all these things, government is going to move slowly to address them. And in the meantime, I'm going to get ripped to the high heavens because I am disrupting government. And all of the businesses that I have created, talking for Elon, are going to suddenly become persona non grata. I mean, we had left-wingers firebombing electric vehicles because they were angry that Elon Musk was trying to bring more financial discipline to the government. And so I think Elon was terribly frustrated. Remember, he said he wanted to erase around $2 trillion in spending. It looks like the number is going to end up being around $160 billion. I don't think he was able to accomplish what he wanted to and what he probably should have been able to accomplish if he had the same power that he has as the leader of all his companies. And so I think his anger had been building for some time. And then Trump yesterday in the Oval Office said, hey, I'm paraphrasing, appreciate what Elon was going to do, but we would have won the election even without his involvement. Argue that or not. And Elon decided that that was ungrateful. And you combine it with the fact that Trump had not decided to elevate the guy that he wanted to be in charge, Elon of NASA. And you also add up that he was frustrated over some of the AI decisions that were being made by Trump. And all of those compounding frustrations led to Elon going off yesterday on Twitter. And my thoughts on social media in general are it can be both the best and the worst thing, because what it does give you is a direct view into the emotions of the moment. But the emotions of the moment aren't always the healthiest. And I'm going to go old school here legitimately and tell you an example. Abraham Lincoln, when he was president, would get so frustrated that he would write entire angry letters to subordinates. He would then wait 24 hours before he would send the letter. Now, letter by mail is very different than tweets, but Lincoln understood that the passions of the moment and the way he felt as he wrote the article, as he wrote his letter, might not exist 24 hours from now. It's a brilliant strategy. Put it in your desk, wait 24 hours, reread it. He would then decide oftentimes whether he wanted that letter sent to his subordinates. Most of the time, he said he did not. The cathartic nature of writing the letter allowed for his anger to be expressed and for it to then diminish. I have said for some time, imagine what tweets would be sent if there were a 24-hour waiting period before the tweet could be sent. Same thing could be said for you if you don't tweet for the text that you send. What if you could only send 10 texts in a week? You would make sure that they were really, really well crafted. You would also make sure that they weren't particularly emotional. My wife says that I don't have to worry about any of this because the reason why I will never need any form of therapy is because I have the unique job where I get to sit down on live radio every single day, tell you guys every single word I think, and then when I'm done after 3 hours, I have no weight on my shoulders at all. I just step right out of the radio studio. My therapy is I said exactly what I wanted to say for 3 hours. Everybody out there could hear it. You could like it. You could not like it. I got no weight on my shoulders. There's a lot of truth to that. I think this had been building for a long time with Elon. I think it was a mountain of frustration. I think that yesterday, that was the tipping point. It wasn't any one thing, as most issues are when people lose their temper. It was a, hey, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And if you are a founder, if you are an entrepreneur, you know that feeling where you wake up and you don't control your day. And basically people just put, if you're a small business owner, 20 different things pile up, all of which you have to manage because it's your responsibility. Elon has been able to bear an immense amount of weight. I think the NASA decision by Trump, I think the AI machinations, I think all of the pressure that has been brought to bear by the media, I think it finally just exploded. And I think he does not have, Elon, great impulse control. This is one reason perhaps he might have 14 different children by 7 different women. There are goods and bads of many different aspects of life. Elon Musk, as I said, the greatest capitalist who's ever existed, may not have the greatest impulse control ever. And so he got angry and he decided to fire away at Trump. I actually think Trump has been remarkably fairly restrained in his response to Elon, because I think Elon is more emotional than Trump is. I think Elon is more frustrated. We come back, I'll give you my thesis here on Trump, because these guys overlap and have a lot in common, and I think it's why they got along. But really, even though Trump is also an entrepreneur, Trump is a different kind of entrepreneur. Elon is a founder. You go out and you create something that never existed before. Trump is a builder. In order to get buildings built, as any of you out there that have ever been involved in real estate know, it is a monster of an issue. Zoning, regulations, political pressures. Getting a building built in a city is more like being a politician than it is a founder. You got to shake hands. You got to deal with unions. You have to deal with local government. You might have to deal with state government. You might even have to deal with federal government, depending on the size of your project. That is a different skill set, and it's more similar to what a politician does. Trump is uniquely skilled at making everyone that he meets feel like they are the most important person in the room. That is not Elon's skill set. So this implosion, which I think was built up by the anger that Elon felt over not having the same control over the government that he has over his companies, felt to me like it was inevitable. The fact that Elon and Trump worked together for as long as they could is important, and it was a tremendous success. I hope that they can continue to work together in the future. But remember, Elon voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. He voted for Joe Biden in 2020. He did not endorse Trump until July of 2024. I think Elon is the most fabulously successful capitalist of all time. I'm not sure that his political instincts are as finely tuned, and I don't say that as an insult. I think he's worked his way towards a smart position. I think his buying X was probably the most important thing for the full flourishment of the marketplace of ideas that maybe has happened in my entire life. But I also think he's susceptible to anger. Twitter is an emotional medium. And yesterday, Elon just snapped. I think today he probably thinks, hey, maybe I wish I hadn't sent some of the things that I sent yesterday. We will take your calls, by the way. You guys can react. Tell me whether or not you buy into this. But I'll break down this a little bit more because I do think it's consequential. I think it's significant. So a lot of people focused on the Epstein sudden tweet. I'll tell you why I don't buy that and why I think that is totally a sham, that idea in general. But I also want to tell you in the meantime, maybe you do like to communicate through cell phones. We all pretty much do. I'm reading from a cell phone right now. Thanks to Pure Talk, I'm able to communicate with my 17-year-old and my 14-year-old sons all the time because they have Pure Talk phones. And they save an absolute bundle for you, but they also stand up for what's right. 81 years since the D-Day invasion turned the tide of World War II. This month, our sponsor, Pure Talk, founded by a veteran, giving away 1,000 American flags to military veterans to thank them for their service, to show gratitude. Version of the flag made here in America by Allegiance Flags. Pure Talk believes every service member who's faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag, one made in America. You can participate too. If you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, a portion of your monthly rate will go to providing high-quality flags to deserving veterans. Plus, you'll save a bundle. Plans starting at just $25 a month, unlimited talk, text, plenty of data. You can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family will save over $1,000 a year. All you have to do, you can keep the same phone, even keep the same phone number. Just dial pound 250, say Clay and Buck. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will get you switched in as little as 10 minutes. Again, that's pound 250, say Clay and Buck, to support veterans and to switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk. That's pound 250, say